Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories like these. Now, let's get into today's story video. Based on her recent Google searches, I believe my wife, female 28, thinks I'm, male 30, cheating on her. How can I reassure her I'm not? We've been married for 3 years and have a 2-year-old daughter. Our relationship is really nice, and we normally express our thoughts and worries fairly effectively, or so I thought, and I adore my wife. She was one of the girls in our high school. We've known each other since we were 15, and she is kind, and responsible. Now, on the problem. I borrowed my wife's laptop for work last night. I then went on to look for anything on her laptop, and when I noticed her recent searches, I was astounded to see that every single one of them was about me cheating on her. My spouse has been conversing on his phone a lot recently. What does this mean? My husband doesn't pay attention to me at all. Is he cheating? 10 signs you're being cheated on. My husband isn't as romantic as he used to be. Signs your partner doesn't love you anymore. My husband has been coming home late recently. Is he cheating? My husband with high drive won't initiate. Is he cheating? And so on. I'm not sure why she believes I'm cheating on her. Many of her inquiries are easily addressed. It's because work and life have been difficult. I realize it's no excuse. I have to pay attention to my wife. It's my obligation, but I'm still trying to ensure our family's future. What should I say to her if I do speak to her about it? Please assist me with some advice. How can I tell her that I still love her? I know it seems strange, but I love her much more than our kid, and that I would not cheat on her. So the night after I made my post, my mother took our daughter to babysit for the night, and I planned a special romantic dinner and night for her. This all happened yesterday. I first took her to our favorite place in our city where we usually met when we were teenagers, and when we first started dating, then I took her to a romantic restaurant and we got home. We watched a couple of movies and I had a couple of personal things planned that we did at W. After that I opened up to her today, telling her I had observed she was lonely and dejected, and how much life had been difficult for both of us. I'm conscious that I haven't been myself in a long time, but I'm finally getting my act together. I also told her how much I love and appreciate her. I also told her that I understand how difficult it is to take care of everything a child does and being stuck at home with it 24/7, and that when I don't support her and give her attention, it makes it 100 times harder for her. I promised to split our daughter's responsibilities once this stressful phase in my job ends, which it will very soon. She told me that ever since she gave birth, she has been very insecure about her looks, and that she knows her looks have always been important to me. She lost a lot of confidence in herself and thought maybe I won't give her attention because of it, or I've fallen out of love with her. I told her that I still think she is the prettiest and hottest girl on the planet, and that there are still guys who are bitter that you didn't go on a date with them. She really is. She apologized and acknowledged she thought I was cheating on her for a time, and she feels awful about it. I was surprised when she admitted this. I wasn't expecting it, and that's pretty much it. I cradled her in my arms, and we hugged the whole day. We made a pledge to each other that we would always speak about our worries again, no matter what. Again, I kept certain details out since they are personal, but this is a good synopsis of what transpired. I want to thank you everyone for your excellent advice, whether it was on little details or how to handle this scenario. I know some people advise you to abruptly alter your ways, but I wanted to be completely honest. I love her more than anything or anybody else. She was and always will be my first priority, and I want her to be happy, no matter what. I believe we are much closer now that we have opened. Thank you once again, everyone. Because English is not my native language, please excuse any errors in my grammar or writing. Story 2. 1-year anniversary since my wife cheated on me. My wife, 34 female, and I, 32 male, began dating around 2.5 years ago, were engaged roughly 2 years ago, and were married approximately 6 months ago. We have 2 children. My wife at the time, fiancé, cheated on me 1 year ago this month, on the same day. It was by chance that I discovered it. We both have access to each other's phones, laptops, and other electronic devices. After borrowing her laptop for a few days in order to check up a household product that she had previously searched so that I might buy it, I discovered that she had Googled hotels near her employment a week before, and that Google even showed me that she had contacted one of the hotels. When I learned of this, my heart sank, but I reminded myself that I didn't know the full story. Maybe she was exhausted and just wanted to go into a room to sleep or something similar. So that night, as we were getting about to go to bed, I asked her whether she loved me, and she responded affirmatively. I then inquired as to whether she had ever cheated on me, and she responded by asking me why I would ask her such a question. My stomach dropped once again. I told her that I was just curious, and she responded by asking what it was that had me thinking that way. Instead of admitting, she continues forcing me to tell her what I know, and then she'll tell me what she thinks I should do with the information. As a result of this technique, things have become even worse for me, since I know that there is likely much more information out there that I will never learn about. So I informed her that I had discovered her Google history, and she immediately admitted that she had cheated on me at the time and expressed regret. She told me about a man from her work who said all of the right things, and she also said how she enjoys performing oral, something that she and I don't do very frequently, and when we do, I never have a response from it. She then went on to clarify that they had just had oral, and that there had been no physical contact between them, and that she would be terminating all contacts with him immediately. Growing up, I always told myself that if someone cheated on me, I would end the relationship instantly, but at this time, I was torn between the two positions. I recall thinking that at the very least, she didn't attempt to hide it anymore, but I was going through a roller coaster of emotions at the time. I was upset, I was furious, I was depressed. At one time, I thought it was my fault, and at another moment, I thought I should cheat to make things more fair, but I didn't. She has known since our third date that I'm a male, and she and I have been attending couples therapy sessions together since then. The fact that she is not interested in a number of topics that I would want to explore with her is frustrating to me. Consequently, in treatment, we spoke about the possibility of somewhat widening the scope of our connection. From my perspective, if there was anything she wanted that I was unable to or didn't want to do, she knew that I would be okay with it as long as we addressed it beforehand, but she chose to do it behind my back instead. If it hadn't been for the fact that I was seeking for this specific product, I would have never heard about it, and who knows how many other times something similar has occurred. For some strange reason, going behind my back made me feel as though there was another guy out there who had authority over me, which I found disturbing. At the time I learned of this, we still had around 6 months till our wedding day. We had already made a number of deposits, and my family and friends were all really enthusiastic about the prospect of participating. I made the decision to forgive her and go with the wedding, but my faith in her had been entirely destroyed. At that point, I urged her to make sure she was constantly sharing her whereabouts with me, and I told her that I would begin checking for items on her phone and laptop as soon as she got home. Whenever she arrived home later than planned or expressed a desire to go out for breakfast with her companions, I became suspicious. Her attempt to convince me that she had made a mistake and that she wanted to set things right was outstanding, though. She dialed her phone and informed her immediate relatives of what she had done, vowing that she would never do such a thing again. She informed me that I was entitled to a free pass if I so desired, and I informed her that I did not want to redeem it. She has apologized to the other man for what they did and informed him that she would no longer be in contact with him, and she has made a sincere attempt to regain my confidence. It has made a significant difference, but things are still not ideal. It's the equivalent of unfolding a paperclip and then attempting to fold it back into its original form over and again. It seems to be the same, however there are some faults in it now. Dark thoughts still flow through my brain at odd intervals. What if she's still cheating? Why would she cheat on me? Should I get even? But it's becoming easier to deal with them as time goes on. After 6 months of marriage, I can confidently state that the future is looking better by the day, but it has not been an easy path to travel so far.